afternoon and welcome to the first bulletin of the new year. To the headlines. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, congratulates the Algerian people on the occasion of the new year and confirms the continuation of the change towards the better. In the recapitalization of 2022, we hark back on the startup sector that boomed this year from thousands of young people beginning their startup journey to the law and auto entrepreneur. Facts in the scandal of the bribery of MEPs by Morocco, also known as Morocco Gate, continue unfolding. Details in a few minutes. Good evening, those with today's headlines. First in our news, in a message broadcasted on the 8 p.m. bulletin, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, addressed the Algerian people, including the national community abroad, wishing them a happy new year 2023, while recalling the positive indicators of the year 2022 and the improvement in the social and economic situation, wishing for the new year to be even better on all aspects and for the wishes of the Algerian people to be realized, while continuing on the path of change for the better and for the year 2023 to be a year of investment. Let's have a listen to the President of the Republic.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wa salli Allahumma wa sallim ala Sayyidina wa Habibina wa Imamina Sayyidina Muhammad. Alfu salatin wa alfi salamin alayh. أيتها المواطنات أيها المواطنون، يسعدني ونحن نودع سنة 2022 بما حملته من أحداث وقرارات من مؤشرات إيجابية وتحسين الأوضاع الاجتماعية والاقتصادية، وبعزيمة كل الجزائريات والجزائريين. وها هو يحل علينا عام جديد نتمناه أفضل من العام الذي مضى من كل الجوانب، وأن تتجسد فيه أماني الشعب الجزائري برمته ومواصلة التغيير نحو الأفضل، وأن تكون سنة 2023 أيضا سنة تتسارع فيها الاستثمارات وتتراكم فيها الخيرات، وأن ترتقي فيها بلادنا إلى مستوى أعلى. وبهذه المناسبة أتمنى لكم ولكن عاما سعيدا لكل الشعب الجزائري، دون أن ننسى جاليتنا في المهجر. كل عام وأنتم وأنتن بخير. عاشت الجزائر حرة أبية. المجد والخلود لشهدائنا الأبرار، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
Via his official Twitter account, the President of the Republic congratulated the personnel of the National People's Army on the occasion of the New Year, where he tweeted, "Happy New Year to all the personnel of the National People's Army, descendants of the National Liberation Army, officers, non-commissioned officers and soldiers, especially those stationed at the borders who are watching over the safety of the homeland. May you all continue to be an asset for Algeria," concluding by wishing them a Happy New Year. The President of the Republic also wished via his official Twitter account all the members of the National Gendarmerie, Police, Civil Defense and Customs and their families a Happy New Year. On the same occasion, the President also congratulated the health sector, tweeting via his official account, "To the White Army, you have my full appreciation always and forever. Happy New Year." On to another important sector that has a significant impact on the development of Algeria that boomed in 2022, which is the knowledge economy and startup sector. Thousands of project leaders managed to concretize their ideas. Another win for the sector is the self-entrepreneur law. Recap of Mohamed Ayashi, commentary by Sabrina Ferginit.
One of the most important economic drivers, startups, which can play a crucial part in the development of our country. In fact, Algeria has decided to adopt a new economic model which prevents it from a dependency on hydrocarbons. Thus, investment and support for startups has become a priority for the state. Moreover, an entire ministry is dedicated to these companies, which has encouraged young people to invest and to increase the number of these startups to more than 5,000 just in a year and a half. Today, the legal framework exists. We have a clear vision about startups, which is allowing us to know more about this field. The state has set up a fund to finance innovative project leaders up to 5 million dinars at the launch of the startup. Alongside this financial aid, an accelerator institution was created to support entrepreneurship and innovation. The role of this accelerator is allowing the rapid development of the startup and its propulsion on the national network of companies and even internationally for its financing. It gives it a lot of visibility. To discover the ideas and talents of students, incubators have been created within universities. We have more than 114 establishments of higher education at the national level, where more than 1.5 million students follow their university course. All means and equipments are made available to them. More than 91 incubators at universities and more than 75 entrepreneurship houses have been created. The Code of the Auto Entrepreneur is another step to upgrade an entire sector through a digital platform. It will be possible for self-entrepreneurs to create their companies, to declare their activities, and much more online.
Our colleague Fouad Kashrud, who passed away on Friday at the age of 45 years old, was buried at the cemetery of Bouzaria in the presence of the head of the public television, his colleagues and close ones. We keep his family and close ones in our thoughts tonight. The late was a cameraman at EPTV, known for his dedication and noble qualities. Indeed, to Allah we belong, and to him we shall return. In Morocco, the Morocco Gate scandal continues snowballing, revealing more facts about the prohibited and illegal practices that took place. Investigations continue to fully bring down this network. Rania Al-Bahri reports.
The resounding corruption scandal within the European Parliament, now known as Morocco Gate, doesn't seem to have revealed all its secrets and continues to experience twists and turns, according to the new revelations published in the Italian daily Corriere della Sera. Morocco allegedly carried out interference actions within several other European institutions by resorting to corruption, namely bribing influential personalities, according to the Italian daily newspaper. These interferences were allegedly made through a network of influential personalities, including the former European deputy Antonio Panzeri, the former vice president of the European Parliament Eva Kaili, and Francesco Giorgi. The revelations of Il Corriere della Sera thus come to praise the information already relayed by the daily newspaper El Fatto Quotidiano. Nevertheless, justice focuses mainly on what happened in the European Parliament, where the policy of the Socialist and Democrat groups was allegedly influenced in the name of Morocco by a team of 3 Italians whose names are mentioned in this order: Pier Antonio Panzeri, Andrea Cozzolino, and Francesco Giorgi. Morocco would have turned to this parliamentary group to cultivate its multiple interests. That was guided in its operations by Mohamed Bellahrash, an officer of the General Directorate for Studies and Documentation, the secret services of the Makhzen. This Moroccan officer acted through an intermediary of the Moroccan ambassador in Poland, Abdelrahim Atmoun, who works in close collaboration with the Moroccan secret services and who is said to have met Panzeri and Cozzolino several times in Brussels and Warsaw. To carry out their operations, the 3 Italians would have counted on the collaboration of a group of MEPs described as friends, particularly Eva Kaili, Arina Maria, Moriti Alessandra, and Benefi Brando Maria. Former Deputy Antonio Panzeri, current Deputy Andrea Cozzolino, and their advisor Francesco Giorgi took orders most of the time from Atmoun Abderrahim, but would also be in direct contact with Mansour Yassin, the General Director of the Secret Services of the Makhzen, who Cozzolino would have met personally in Morocco in 2019. Accusations not at all incidental, given that the arrest warrants issued against these defendants mention return flights reserved for the fall of 2019 by these same secret services for Cozzolino, thus giving rise to a strong suspicion that Cozzolino and Panzeri concluded in 2019 an agreement with the Moroccan secret services through Atmoun to practice interference in favor of Morocco in the European Parliament in exchange for money. In this context, the newspaper Il Fatto Quotidiano, which quotes the Belgian investigators having intercepted discussions between Antonio Panzeri and his family, tells how this former MEP and his wife took advantage of a trip to Morocco in June 2022 to report possible rewards for interference activities for the benefit of Morocco. The attention of the investigators has been drawn to report indicating the potential presence of illegally acquired property in the Italian residence of the Panzeri-Collini couple. Revelation which will train with other institutions and other European personalities and will thus overwhelm the Makhzen more and more.
Still in Morocco, after the protests carried out by unemployed doctors and contract teachers, it is now time for the National Federation of the Agricultural Sector to take to the streets and mobilize its troops across the country. Strikes and demonstrations are planned to denounce the decline in trade union freedoms. Manal Ammari with the details.
Protests are continuing throughout the Moroccan streets and no sector is spared. This time, the National Federation of the Agricultural Sector, FNSA, including several trade unions, came back to charge with an open strike across various sectors in Morocco as a way to rise up against the decline of trade union freedoms and to denounce Akhnouch's government policy, criticized for his inability to address the citizens' concerns. In a communique released to the public, the National Federation of the Agricultural Sector affirmed its rejection of the done deal and headlong rush policy adopted by the Moroccan Minister of Agriculture. The FNSA called on the Federation's components, namely trade unions, branches and committees, to initiate a mobilization campaign and an open protest movement in several branches related to the sector of agriculture, to denounce the dissatisfaction claims made by the workers to the minister in charge for years. The lack of clean drinking water, the high living costs, the poor socio-economic conditions, the restriction of freedoms, and even the leaders' mismanagements pushed Moroccans to take to the streets to demand their legitimate rights and freedoms. The year 2022 hasn't been easy for the Makhzen regime, and 2023 seems even more eventful.
Palestine held on Saturday the United Nations General Assembly adopting a resolution calling on the International Court of Justice of Hague to determine the judicial consequences of the Zionist occupation of Palestinian territories. The resolution was adopted with 87 votes for, 26 against, and 53 abstentions. And with that, our news edition comes to a close. Thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year.